Passport bros are people who specifically go from country to country to country trying to find women exotic flavors to dabble in, right? If a passport bro were to say, "Oh yeah, I only date Asian women," right? That is a fetish. That's not a passport bro, right? It really starts becoming weird when you go to third world countries or countries that are not as advanced as ours and start telling women that you're going to marry them so that you can take them to America. That's an issue, right?
Hey guys, this is Cheng.
And this is Rich.
And today we're going to dive into some Passport Bros videos and do some genuine reactions to our videos. Let's get into it. Let's get it going.
But before we continue, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll get updated of our latest videos.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get it cracking. Let's hit the first video, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
Rolling my trike. Here we go.
Biggest issue with these passport bros aren't that they're getting passports and going to find the love of their life. I think when it starts to be kind of weird is when you only date people outside your country, right? Like if a passport bro were to say, "Oh yeah, I only date Asian women," right? That is a fetish. That's not a passport bro, right?
Okay, so first of all, I will say I'm kind of with her when you start dating outside of who you are. It's like if I only dated white women or I only dated Asian women and I never dated black women. I do think that's a little weird. Is it wrong? No, I don't think it's wrong.
No, I don't think it's wrong because that's your preference.
Yeah, but I would still question if someone was black and they said, "Oh, I only date white women," I would kind of look at them sideways. I really would. Because I'm like, well, why do you hate black women? What's wrong with black women? And I mean, we definitely might have some opinions as to what we like and we don't like. But like you said, it's a preference, and everybody's entitled to their preference.
Yes, agree. We just have to respect that.
That's simple. It's that simple.
Passport bros are people who specifically go from country to country to country trying to find women exotic flavors to dabble in, right?
Exotic flavors.
Trying to find women, exotic flavors. Are you an exotic flavor?
I'm an Asian spice, maybe.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right, fair enough. I mean, we're all looking for our person who we connect with. And if you look in another country, maybe you feel like the people in your own country don't vibe with you.
Yeah, it's not compatible with you.
It may not be compatible with you. I will say this. First of all, I would question anybody who has such opinions and have never traveled abroad, who have never traveled outside the United States, which is quite a few people in the United States. If you've lived abroad, you know exactly what I mean. Whereas people who have lived abroad, I mean, I'm not trashing them or nothing like that. I'm not talking down about them. But when you live abroad, you're not the same person when you come back home because you've met people from all over the world, from Africa.
You immersed yourself in the culture in the country where you stayed in, so definitely you're not going to be the same person.
You're not the same.
You have a different perspective of life right now.
Yeah, you have a lot of different perspectives about life.
Passport bros are like, "Oh man, I can't find any good women in the States, so I'm gonna have to go somewhere else in the world." Like women are inherently different in every other country. It really starts becoming weird when you go to third world countries or countries that are not as advanced as ours and start telling women that you're going to marry them so that you can take them to America. That's an issue, right?
Okay, go ahead.
What she said is like guys from the US in particular go to other countries, take the girl with them to the US. But personally speaking, I don't want to go to the US. I would.
You don't like my country?
I like your country for a visit, but I don't want to live there.
Right. In fact, if you come or if you travel to a lot of countries, you'll find that their attitude is quite similar to Cheng's. That a lot of people would love to visit the U.S., but a lot of people don't want to live in the U.S. it's not the end all to beat all that we think it is for a lot of people. And yes, there are people definitely who want to come to the U.S. and who
For a visit, yes, because it's a first world country, and who wouldn't want to visit a first world country? But yeah, I want to go there for a visit, but living there, I would rather live here in my developing country.
Okay. Most of the men who travel to developing countries or whatever countries are not promising to take women back to their country because they're not coming back. They don't plan on coming back to their country. With respect, I love my country. Anyone who knows me knows how much I love my country. But our country is in disarray right now. It just is what it is. And anyone denying that would be in denial. It's a fallacy to think anything otherwise. But I'm not telling nobody that I'm going to marry you and bring you back to the United States. I moved here. I love living in the Philippines. The people are awesome. The country is awesome. There's so much to see, so much to do. And I'm not telling anybody any of that stuff. And most of the guys who are moving to other countries are not promising women to take them back to our countries, because we know that if you take women back to your own country, then they'll start getting indoctrinated with Western ideas. And then the whole reason that you started dating them or that you got involved with them in the first place goes out the window. For me, being in the Philippines, the peace of mind, the peace of mind is out of this world. The peace of mind that you get living outside the US or the UK is completely different. You can have solitude. You can have peace.
Calm.
You can have calm. And so the things that so many people want are so difficult to get in the US, but you can definitely get here. I'll take it every day and twice on Sunday.
And a lot of these women are desperate, so they're going to take you up on that offer, right? And in a way, it's kind of manipulative. Passport bros say that they can't date women in their own country because they are too aggressive and because they're not so submissive. So what they're telling me here is that they do not want a strong woman, right? They want someone who is going to be submissive to them. And what better way to find someone who's submissive to them than to find a woman who is at your beck and call? Because, the only reason she's in the United States is because of you.
How do you say when a person or a girl is aggressive?
For me, I think aggressiveness is very masculine. In other words, she wants to argue every little thing. Not agreeable, very combative. That would, to me,
That's
I think,
aggressive.
yeah, in my opinion, that's aggressive. I think a lot of men would agree with that.
And submissive, she also mentioned the word submissive. Would you consider a partner who is submissive, or you don't want to use the term submissive?
I personally don't like using the term submissive. And the reason I don't, I get what most men mean, and I agree with what most men mean. However, I understand that the term submissive is like a trigger word for a lot of women. There's a really negative connotation to the word submissive. And for me, I think of submissive as a woman who provides peace and provides peace in a household, who's agreeable, who supports me. And I don't think of it as someone who cooks and cleans and does everything I say, because for me, I would expect the person I'm with to have their input, to give me their opinion and all that stuff, and I would always consider that. But I know a lot of women take that to mean that he wants her to do whatever he says. He wants her to cook and clean and follow whatever he says. But I don't think that's not what I think. And I don't think that's what most men think either. But I do understand that it is a trigger word for a lot of
women. But for me personally, the qualities that a woman should have is be a submissive partner. So submissive in such a way that you're not, just like what you mentioned, you're not going to say yes to everything. Yeah, you have your own voice, and you can disagree at some point, but submissive meaning that you are submitting that your partner will take the lead, and you will just follow with the lead of your partner. So that's what submissive is to me.
I agree with that completely. And I would take it one step further and say this. If you don't value his leadership, if you don't value his experience or his knowledge, then why would you make a baby with him? Why would you sleep next to him every night only to wake up and disrespect him or to argue with him and fight with him and not provide a place of peace for him?
Yes. So for me, being a wife, being a girlfriend, being a submissive partner is for you to be the calm of your partner. So we all know that a lot of things are happening already outside the house. He's hustling to provide, or to his mind is already occupied with a lot of things, and provide that safe space or safe place at home where you can be someone's peace.
I totally agree. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's move on to the next.
All right.
To be honest, ladies, these aren't the type of men that we want anyway, right? These men want a woman that they can control, and because they can't find it here in America because it's frowned upon to like own a human. Here, they go to other places in the world where they can legally own a human.
Wow. Own is the word that struck me the most. You don't own a person. Even if you're married, you don't own that person.
There are many countries in this world where slavery is actually still legal. However, the United States is certainly not one of them. And I don't think there's any men out there who expects you to be a slave. We all work hard. You probably have your job. He probably has his job. And there is a division of labor that should exist in every family dynamic. So I would say this: is it really slavery if especially if you're not working, especially if he's out there working? Is it really slavery if he's expecting to come home to a good cooked meal? Is it
Clean
really
house.
a clean house? Is it really slavery to expect those things especially if he's the only one working? I do know in our families, usually both parties are working. So in my opinion, why can't we work together and coexist?
Shared responsibility.
And share the responsibilities of taking care of the house, of taking care of the bills, of taking care of these things together. And that's my opinion on it. But I don't think anybody really expects you to be a slave. And I really think that's kind of over exaggeration of a lot of people today. Like, he expects a slave.
Because most women think, of course, there are a lot of empowered women nowadays.
Sure. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. I work, but at the back of my mind, you are still a wife, and it is a wife's responsibility to take care of the house, to take care of the children, to take care of your husband. So here in the Philippines, when we're young, we are taught how to do chores. We're taught how to take care of the house, how to cook, how to wash the clothes, because at the end of the day, whether you're working or not, you will still be a wife. You will still be a housekeeper, regardless if you're a stay-at-home or you're a working mom.
Right. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I think in the modern day, I really feel like a lot of people are giving less, but asking for more. Yeah. Like, how does that work out? Like, you're going to give less, but you expect more. Again, I do want to stress, I get that. I get that if you're working and you come home after a hard day of work, you don't want to always cook and clean. But there has to be a division of labor. There has to be an agreement in every family dynamic of what's going to happen, what the expectation is. There has to be.
The word is compromising.
It's a compromise.
Yeah.
It's a compromise.
Because it's a partnership, not a competition between the two of you. Who's going to do this? I do the work. You should do that. It's not supposed to be like that.
You work together.
You work together as a team, and you need to be both team players. That's the bottom line.
I mean, why be together if you're not going to work together as a team? I mean, isn't that the whole purpose of being a team? Is working together to accomplish a specific goal,
or
right?
task?
Yeah. So I think the whole thing about being submissive, I think it's over. I think the word itself is just overrated. I think it's overused, and I don't think it should be a trigger word for a lot of women, but I know it is
for some.
Yeah, I know it is for some, but I just think it really means that that your man expects you to be
someone who supports your partner.
Can we change the word? You know what? I'm lobbying right now to change the word submissive
into supportive.
Yeah. You know what? High five on that. Yeah, seriously.
Like I said, this has nothing to do with meeting somebody in a different country, the love of your life. This only becomes a problem when you are specifically going to these countries where women are supposed to be a certain way, in order to get your D wet?
A certain way. Going back to what we mentioned a while ago, a certain way, because maybe generally speaking, Filipinas are nurturing in nature. So maybe that's the certain way that she's talking about. And maybe guys from the other countries would want someone who is nurturing. A wife material, as they may call it. So a wife material is someone who takes care of the house, the husband, the kids, whatever it may be. So someone who is someone you can come home to peace. Maybe that's the word for that.
I agree with you, and to piggyback on that, I would say this too. I'd say in our culture, in Western culture, a lot of people think that, mistakenly think that ours is the only way to do things. But the fact is, there are cultures out there that are so different than Western culture, than American or North American or UK culture, where yeah, I mean, there's a modern culture or a woke society, and that's phenomenal. I mean, that really is great. Women have so many opportunities, as they should. However, at the same time, there's so many cultures out there where women want to be nurturing, where women take pride in being and taking care of their man and taking care of their family, where women want to do that. And I don't think we should shame those women and talk about those women or talk down,
Degrade them.
Yeah, degrade those women and talk about, oh, they don't speak English. I think we're speaking English here. I think we're speaking pretty good English. Do you speak multiple languages? You probably don't, but they do. So how is it that suddenly you're more intelligent or you're more educated than they are when they're speaking multiple languages and you don't? So I think we have to be careful to call names or point fingers and talk about who's more intelligent, who's less intelligent, or who's been there here, or who's done this or who's done that, when a lot of our own women haven't even traveled outside the United States before. A lot of our own women don't even have a passport. A lot of our own women have never even experienced a different culture outside of that of our own. And that's okay, but why point fingers? I think we have to slow down pointing fingers and talking about people, talking down about people when you haven't even experienced what they're about and you don't even know what they're about. Maybe you have to understand their culture, and maybe they don't need to assimilate to ours, and we don't even need to assimilate to theirs, but we do need to understand and respect each other's culture.
Yeah, no one is superior.
Nobody's superior.
So whether you are living in a first world country or in a developing country, no one is above the other.
I would say this. She said that a lot of men refuse to date women in the U.S., but isn't that a choice? You choose the person you want by their personality, by their looks. We all choose the person we're looking for. And maybe, just maybe, I'm not saying women shouldn't be modern. I'm not saying women shouldn't work, because I celebrate the fact that they do. I celebrate the fact that they are modern and that that women have so many opportunities. But maybe there are men out there who still want a traditional woman. And I get also that it hurts a lot of our women, whether it's black women or white women, because it's not just black women. It's not just black women talking about passport bros and about people leaving the U.S. It's white women too. I think it's easy to call names, and it's easy to guilt trip guys, and it's easy to shame them and say, oh, you're a loser, you can't get women. But how about this for a crazy idea? How about they just don't want the women here? Everybody has their own preferences. And how is it okay for you to shame a man for his preferences when you have your own?
Yeah.
So manipulate a woman to do what? So
to cook for you?
To cook for me. What if she actually wants to cook for
you?
I mean, am I still manipulating her? What if she wants to cook? What if she wants to do my laundry? What if she wants to clean my house? My point is, what if there's a culture out there that wants to do that still wants to do those things? Is that still men manipulating them? Or is it just that culture? And if there is such a culture, is it so bad that men would want to go and be part of that culture if they have the values that men want? Just saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining our reaction video. We definitely realize that these are just our own personal opinions that we're sharing. We appreciate you guys taking the time to watch our video and express your opinions. Hopefully you guys left some comments below that you can share with us and share your own opinions with us and everybody else who's watching.
Yes, it has been a pleasure sharing this experience with you. And remember to like, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you'll get updated of our latest videos. Until next time, take care and keep watching Rich Rich Abroad.
Deuces.
Salamat!